Okay, today we're going to be looking at the second day of section 4.6. Hopefully you can say at the end of this that you can use the function notation to find range of a function. So what we'll be looking at today is function notation. So if I write f of x is equal to 3x minus 4, what we should be thinking is f of x is equal to y, really. So this is really saying y equals 3x minus 4. It's just a different way to write it. So when I say to find the value when x equals 5, all we're really doing is plugging in an x, or excuse me, a 5 for the x. So I'd just be taking 3 times a 5 minus a 4. 3 times 5 we know is 15, so that's 15 minus a 4, or an 11. Okay, if I want to find the value when x is equal to a 6, same idea. You take a 3 times a 6 minus the 4, so that's an 18 minus a 4, which is a 14. Or if you want to find it when x is equal to a negative 2, you take a 3 times a negative 2 minus a 4, so you get a negative 6 minus a 4, which is a negative 10. Okay, so you might be asked to make a table. Very similar to what we have done before. So when it says f of x, we're just thinking y. We did this last week where we take a 3 times a negative 1 minus a 4. 3 times negative 1 is a negative 3 minus the 4 is a negative 7. So if I went over here to my graph, I'd have a negative 1, negative 7. There's 1 point on my graph. Okay, if I put in a 0, I'd have 3 times a 0 minus a 4. That's 0 minus a 4, which is a negative 4. Okay, so I got 0, negative 4 on my graph. Next one, I got 3 times a 1 minus a 4. Well, that's a 3 minus a 4. That's a negative 1. So at 1, I'm at a negative 1. And the next one, or the last one, I've got 3 times a 2 minus a 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus a 4 is a 2. So not 2, 2. My line would be like so. Okay, let's do that for another one. I've got f of x this time as a negative 2x plus 5. So when I plug in the negative 1, I'd have a negative 2 times negative 1 plus a 5. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a 2 plus 5. That would give me a 7. Okay, if I put in a 0, I have negative 2 times a 0 plus a 5. 0 plus a 5 is a 5. If I plugged in a 1, I'd have a negative 2 times a 1 plus a 5. So that's negative 2 plus a 5, which is a 3. In the last one, I plug in a 2. I have a negative 2 times a 2 plus a 5. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 5 is a 1. Okay, so I've got a negative 1, 7. I've got a 0, 5. I've got a 1, 3. I've got a 2, 1. Again, nice, neat line. Looks like so. Okay, some other things might be asked too. Might see different notation. It might say f of 7. Well, that really means plug in a 7 into the x of f. So I'd have 4 minus 2 times a 7. So that's 4 minus a 14. That would give me a negative 10. Okay, if I ask for g of a 4, I'm simply plugging in a 4 for the g function. So I'd be taking 4 squared, which is 16. H of 3, I'm going to plug in a 3 for the x on the h function, so it'd be a 3 plus a 6, which is going to give me a 9. The last one says find x if h of x is 9. So that's kind of the reverse. Now it's saying that I'm going to plug a 9 in for the h of x. So now I'm saying 9 is equal to x plus 6. So I'm just going to have to solve to find out what the x is. So I would get x is equal to a 3. If I want to do that for f of x when it's 12, so I plug in a 12 for the f of x, 4 minus 2x. Hopefully we can see we subtract off the 4. So I'd be at 8 equals negative 2x divided by the negative 2. and I'd get a x equals a -4, or -4 is equal to an x. Okay. If I wanted to translate these into ordered pairs, remember the thing in the parentheses is really your x, and the number behind is really the value that you get out, which is your y. So this ordered pair is simply 3, 7. This ordered pair here would be a -5, 9. And last one is, you guessed it, a 0, -9. Okay, last thing, last page. So if I'm giving you a graph, and you have to look at a graph and be able to tell these things. So f of 3, this 3 is really an x value. So if x is equal to a 3, what's the y value? So here is a 3 on the x. Well, what's the y value? It's this point right here, which is 3, -1. So what's the y value? -1. If I said f of 0, so 0 is your x, so I'm looking right here on the 0 of x, and what's the y value? Y value is a -4. The reverse, so now we're looking at find the x value if f of x is 5. So now we're looking on the y value is 5, so we go over here, what's the x value? The x value that would correspond with that would be a 9. Okay, what about when x is in or f of x is a -3? That's really saying y equals -3. So if y is a -3, we're looking at like right here. So what's the value? Well, the value over here would be a -7. So x equals -7. Okay, hopefully you're able to do the worksheet from that explanation, and hope you're working hard.